Okay, so what you've just been listening to is the Yamaha Montage with the newest feature in the OS 3.5 update, which is also in the ModiX 2.5 OS update, and the feature is called Smart Morph. So what is Smart Morph? Smart Morph, as Yamaha describes it, is a way to create a new FMX performance based on up to 8 different FMX parts from the montage, where the information from the parameters in each of those 8 different parts, which can be anything you want, from pads to basses to percussion to sound effects, you can mix up to 8 of them, and then the montage, your ModiX, will extrapolate all this information and create a grid like you're seeing here. This is a 32 by 32 grid, so there's 1,024 points on the grid. And each point represents a different set of parameters for this part. And so in between all these parts, you've got parameters that have been morphed from this into that. And anywhere in between, where I hit, I'm going to get a different sound. You can tell how the sound changes just as I move a little bit. You can also automate that using your super knob. So you can manually, I've already mapped this out to travel from here to here as I turn the super knob like this. Let's put on some effects. So really what you're hearing are these different points in between those different patches. And so here's how you create it. So let's go start a brand new patch here by choosing an initialized FMX patch. That's what we've got. So when we go to our performance edit, now we have a button called Smart Morph. When I click Smart Morph, I can go in and edit the different parts from which we're going to create one super part. Smart part, morph part, I don't know what they call that. It's not your average part, that's all I can say. So let's do some kind of percussive thing. And so we'll start with maybe let's just take that whirly and then let's add maybe some kind of a, sounds good. And then let's try, what am I looking at? Chromatic. Sounds good. So now I have these 3 sounds. And I'm going to create a smart morphed part out of those 3. So now that I've selected them, I'm going to hit learn. And now there's machine learning going on, which I don't completely understand. So now what the montage has just done is, through machine learning, it's taken those 3 different patches or parts, and it's extrapolated, pulled out interesting bits, different parameter settings that would bring you basically from one patch or part to another. So for example, starting here with the Wurlitzer, you know, and ending there, you have spots in between. So if we start here, let's just go to play, because now I can just and then of course, let's make this a little more audibly pleasing. Let's do some chorus. Let's do a little bit of a delay. That's good. So now as I go back to my part here, so you can see that as I travel around on the keypad here, I'm getting variations between these different patches. Now this is not like crossfading. I'm not crossfading between two different parts. The synthesizer is actually creating new parameters, algorithms, different settings for each operator for each one of these 1024 points. So you can use the super knob in just a couple of different ways. You can program it manually to move between two different points, and here's how you would do that. So when you go to your super knob settings, I can program it to move. I can program a start point. I can put that anywhere I want. And then I can program an endpoint. Then I can move manually through those points if I want to. Let's put our start over here. And let's put our end down here. Like I had it. One of the things you'll notice sometimes in between these points, there's not a lot going on. And one thing also you'll notice is that it's not really morphing between sounds. What it's doing is it's jumping from setting to setting. So these 1024 settings, there's no interpolation between them. You just jump from one to the next. And sometimes you get sort of glitchy sounds, which can be pretty cool actually, but there's no way to smooth that out. There's also no way to program more than just 2 points. You can only have 2 points that the smart knob or the super knob moves in between. You can automate this though too. So in your motion control, when you go to the super knob, let's see, we're going to go to super knob and we're going to edit the super knob sequence. Right now it's at 16 different steps, but let's just move it to 2. And you can see that it's now automated, and I can control the amplitude, the speed, whatever I want to do here. So if I go back, let's control the speed. Let's slow this down a little bit. Hello. So the speed is really fast. Let's move that lower. So now what I'm getting is a super knob automation moving through those different points. Okay, well, there you have it. That is the Smart Morph feature in the new OS 3.5 update for Montage, OS 2.5 update for Modi X. There are other features in these updates, some things having to do with the pattern sequencer and some tap tempo things. You can use a pedal and different things to do some of that. I did not cover those. I was mostly just covering what I think is the main feature, especially as a Montage user. I've owned the Montage for about 4 years, and one of the things that I've enjoyed about this is that it's a way to create new ideas, come up with new patches, new parts and presets and things that you wouldn't normally think of on your own. And obviously, programming an 8-operator FM synthesizer isn't always the easiest thing in the world. So this gives you just immediate access to all new kinds of sounds and things like that. It would be nice if they could, as I said before, maybe put more points for the super knob. So instead of just moving between 2 spots, you could move 16 different spots, whatever it might be. It also can be a little bit slow when you hit learn, depending on the number of parts that you have. It can take 20, 30 seconds even to generate the grid, depending on how many different parts you have assembled there. If you have 8 different parts, it takes quite a while to do that. But overall, it's a nice addition to have after 4 years. It's nice to see Yamaha continuing to support the Montage and the Modi X, and to continue to add features after all of these years, especially, like I said, as a longtime user of this synthesizer. It's a great addition. So with that said, I'll play out a little bit of music as we leave.